Good morning all. It's another new week. It's Monday. Now this time I'll film this with a card in it. I went and did all the section and looked up into the monitor and realised it was blinking no card, so I'll try it all again for you. Today we're going to continue with installing our insulation. Last week was sound deadening and this week is the insulation. Now insulation is a talked about subject when it comes to buses and vans, so there's a lot of pros and cons for each way you want to go, and I think it comes down to what you individually think is best for your van or bus. Now I've done a lot of research. I was going to use Car Builder's 3-step insulation, which was sound deadening, then the insulation, and then a van seal for the last stage. I'm doing the same sort of thing, but I'm using different products which are a little bit cheaper. So you saw the sound deadening on the last video. So this video is the insulation. This is a piece of it here. It's got the reflective foil on one side. It's 10mm thick foam inside. It's got a backing piece which if you peel off, it's got the sticky part of the foam there. So what happens is you measure it up for wherever it's going. You put it up onto the panel. You pull the sticky part off. Use the roller that we had for the sound deadening and just roll it on, and you just keep peeling the sticky part off and just keep rolling it on. Now this has got to cover the whole panel, whereas the sound deadening only had to cover a little bit of the panel. This is going to cover the whole panel, so I've got to measure up each section and cut it to size. It's pretty easy to cut. The easiest way is just a pair of scissors. It makes a nice straight cut on it, keeps the edge nice and crisp. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to start measuring up. I think I'll start up the front section of the bus above the cabin. It's the easiest part to get to, I think, to measure up. Maybe. It's got a bit of curve, as you know, so maybe it's not going to be the easiest. Anyway, I'll have a look and see what we do first. And I'll show you as I put the first piece on to show you how it goes. And then I'll just do a time lapse so you can see it from there. Alright guys, the first part's up in this section. As you can see, it's gone across to the ribs of the bus. So I've got it in. Now, to say the least, it wasn't the easiest to work with. Okay, doing it all in one piece, trying to get it over the or under these, or over them, whichever way you want to call it, under these spots here. And then get the backing paper off, and it sticks pretty well, so getting the backing paper off and trying to feed it through here was very tricky indeed. And the same down here, putting these little bits, because we've got these little gaps here, I wanted to get in behind it, and very hard to peel the backing paper off and slide it through and not get it stuck. So not easy to install. If it was one section similar to this, where there's nothing you have to get over, it's not going to be a problem. So I probably should have started with that. Anyway, I've started on this one first. So what I might do is I might cut sections for each bit rather than one full section to make it a little bit easier to get on. So it's a bit of an issue, but as I work down the bus, hopefully it'll get a bit easier and I've found the best way of doing it. But it looks good. And once it's all done, I'll run some silver tape along here to block it in and along the joins here as well. Good morning all. I've been working a bit this morning getting more of this insulation up. I've completely finished the front section. I'm now over halfway. As you can see, I've left the spot where the air conditioner is going. I thought it'd be interesting to take a measurement because it's a bit warm here today in Queensland, so I've got my wife's cooking temperature gauge. So I'm just going to put it onto the bare metal here and see what it reads. A 34.3, and then I'm just going to go next door right onto the insulation, and that's just been put on. It's 29.1, so 5 degrees difference. But if I come back to one that's been done all morning and do it, 26.9. Let's try the front. .9. So there's a difference in probably about 5-6 degrees. So once it's all done, I should find a big difference in it, which will be nice. Alright, here we go again. It's hotter now, so let's do it again. 38.4 it's showing. We come back to one that's been done before. Now it's 29.6. So nearly 10 degrees difference with it on. I'm glad I've put it on. G'day all, it's Saturday afternoon and I'm still going on this insulation. So I think I'm going to have to split this video into two to cover it all, because as you know I like to get a video out in its entirety so people can just follow through and see exactly what I've done for the whole process. Sometimes I won't be able to do it, but this time I'm just going to split it up because I'll be working on it next week as well. Anyway, I'll turn you around and show you what I've done and what I'm going to do next week. The ceiling is done and it's taped up and sealed. There's just a couple of spots left to do for the air conditioner, the vent and the vent pipes, and then I've got the back door still to do, which will be done next week. This section here, and once I've got the outlet and put it in, then we can close this up. All along here's done. In between the ribs has been done as well on both sides. I've gone over the sound deadener with the insulation on the both wheel arches, so that is done. Down front, inside the panels are done. Also on the driver's side the panels are done. So I've done that all this week. It's been a fiddly job, lots of cutting, and when you're using self-adhesive insulation, if it gets stuck it makes it very hard to get off and move it across. But anyway, we've got there. It's taken a week, so about 6 hours each day, so it's been tedious. When I'm doing it by myself and cutting, it makes it a long time. However, that's fine. Unfortunately, Carolyn can't help because she works during the week. She does all the hard work and earns the money, so I've got to be thankful that she works so hard, which is really good. So thank you, my darling. Next week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the insulation over the cabin floor on both driver's side and passenger side. I'm then going to fill up all the holes and spray some expanding foam into there, all the way along there, also up in the sections of the roof and also down the bottom in this recess, that's all going to spray foam and cover that all in. And that then hopefully should see me through with the insulation. And then the last thing for finishing doing all that is the van sealer, which is just a 4mm reflective sheet on both sides with some 4mm foam in between, which goes all the way along the rib. So that's the cover, and that will give me the air gap that I need as well. So all in all, that will go well. And once I've finished doing that, I'll do a test with the temperature gauge again and see how we're going. But I can already feel a difference inside the bus now, even just with what's on there. Still got windows to do as well, because a lot of heat and cold gets lost through the windows, but it's getting there. So I'll split it up this week into what I've done so far, and then next week will be the second part of it for the rest. I think that's it, guys. So I hope you're having a good week. I hope your builds are going really well. Once again, if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification button so you will get notifications on our new videos. But anyway, guys, take care, and we'll talk to you next week.